Synthetic drugs, including fentanyl, are a shared global challenge requiring a global approach. This is a top priority for President Biden and the administration, as he stated during last week's State of the Union address. I share the President's commitment to stop fentanyl production, sale, and trafficking. Secretary of State Blinken also has made clear we must bring the full power of American diplomacy to this challenge. We are engaging our foreign partners to protect national security and global health by disrupting the illicit synthetic drug supply chain and supporting the effective prevention, treatment, and recovery to end this epidemic and save American lives. Synthetic drugs can be produced virtually anywhere, often using legal chemicals and equipment. Traffickers adapt quickly to evade regulatory controls, and we must stay ahead of the curve with a more agile and comprehensive approach. We will treat this as both a security and public health threat. We will bring new partners on board, including countries that may soon be affected, as well as the private sector. And we will approach countries and other partners through the lens of joint responsibility for action. Most fentanyl seized in the United States is synthesized in Mexico using precursor chemicals sourced primarily from the PRC and then trafficked via the U.S. southern border. Our enduring security cooperation with Mexico is critical to our efforts to address fentanyl trafficking. The U.S.-Mexico Bicentennial Framework and the North American Drug Dialogue guide our work to disrupt the synthetic drug supply chain and promote public health. Both countries seized historic amounts of fentanyl in 2022. INL-donated canines in Mexico helped seize more than 75,000 fentanyl pills from January to August 2022. Meanwhile, Mexico created a watch list to flag chemicals that can be diverted to illicit drug production and expanded this list from 14 to 69 chemicals. We hope Mexico will invest more in combating the synthetic drug threat, from prevention, treatment, and recovery to the investigations and prosecutions. The United States remains committed to meaningful counter-narcotics cooperation with the PRC, despite the PRC's limited willingness to engage on the issue of late. Past cooperation has proven to be fruitful and effective. The PRC decision to schedule fentanyl-related substances as a class in 2019 essentially ended PRC origin shipments to the United States. Transnational criminal organizations adapted and now use PRC-sourced precursor chemicals to synthesize the fentanyl in Mexico. The PRC can and must do more as a global partner to limit criminal access to these chemicals. We continue to press them to take meaningful, concrete actions to curb criminal diversion of precursor chemicals, improve information sharing on global chemical flows, strengthen enforcement of customs manifesting agreements, and implement Know Your Customer standards to restrict sales of precursor chemicals. Foreign partners look to the United States for leadership on this issue. The 2022 UN Commission on Narcotics Drugs, at U.S. urging, unanimously decided to internationally control 3 emerging fentanyl precursor chemicals. At the same UN meeting, the United States also secured agreement to redouble action on diversion and trafficking in unscheduled and designer precursors. We support global tools that facilitate international law enforcement cooperation, establish best practices for denying criminals access to the tools of modern commerce, and strengthen norms to prevent the sale of precursor chemicals and tableting equipment. Private industry must also play a role, since many precursor chemicals used in illicit drug production have legitimate uses. We will partner with a variety of industries to disrupt synthetic drug supply chains. Finally, Congress can play a vital role in supporting our efforts. We need Congress to look at permanently controlling fentanyl-related substances as a class. Synthetic drugs are an urgent priority for us, and we are committed to working with all partners, including Congress, to develop solutions. Thank you for the opportunity to testify before you today, and I look forward to your questions.